several people signed up, so I'll be there. And so today we're going to cover the HR function in the global business, so global human resource management. So basically, before we start, I'm sure a lot of you already took HR, the human resource management class, but basically that's about, how to manage the human resources. So first of all, the HR, they determine the HR strategy. When we try to determine different function strategy, usually we want it to be synced with the corporate strategy. Also kind of talk about it later. And then staffing, to find people, put it in the position that we want it to be. And then after we put people in different positions, we need to do the evaluation. Is it just me? Do you think it's like blurry?
Yeah, it is blurry.
So, and then how can we develop the HR? Like sometimes we put them into different training, put them in different positions, and then we have the compensation, and then labor relations. Some companies, employees, they might form union, so that's the things that HR has to deal with. And in international business, like a lot of functional area we've been covered, like marketing, what else do we cover? Supply chain. When it's related to international business, it becomes a bit more complicated because in different countries, we have different regulations, different culture, different economic systems, so on and so forth. So we have to handle those different stuff, okay? And for the international HR, human resource management, we have to also deal with the expatriate managers, like the people that send to other countries to work in different countries, okay? So they'll have to decide when they're going to use expatriate, and then who are they going to send, and then how they should be compensated, and how to handle the repatriation of the expatriate. And when they come back, what should they do? So this is the thing that for the top countries for expat in 2021. Well, of course, the reason I want to share it is because, I don't know if you can see that. It's because number one is Taiwan. Yeah, so so they rank different aspects. So in Taiwan, not a single aspect feel personally unsafe in Taiwan. Even like, I remember I go, like we would, like when we were in college, we would go out to places in the middle of the night and then stay whole night outside, and then we go to a breakfast place to eat breakfast and then go back to our dorm to sleep. So that's the, so it's very, very safe. And then number two is Mexico. So Mexico is the first place for personal happiness, okay? And then number three, they 9 over 10 expatriate, they think people there are very friendly. And I have a friend that just his company sent him to Costa Rica. Number three is Costa Rica. And then before he was sent to Costa Rica, he never traveled outside of US, rarely outside of Pennsylvania. He I think he went to Las Vegas, and that's pretty much it, like outside of Pennsylvania. So when he was traveling to Costa Rica, I was kind of teasing him, like, are you sure? So the first time when the company sent him, they sent 3 people together. So 3 of them traveled to Costa Rica, and then it seems like he was doing okay. And then the second trip, he said, "Oh, I'm going to Costa Rica this time alone." I said, "Wow, you are traveling alone." And then he just came back from the third trip. So I sent him this link. I say, "Hey, Costa Rica number 3." But after second time, he was like talking about selling the house here because the housing market is crazy here. So he wants to sell the house, maybe move to Costa Rica. So yeah, so I'm trying to talk him into moving to Costa Rica. So that when I travel there, I can visit. Yeah. So, and the bottom 3 is South Africa, Kuwait, and Italy. Okay. So there are different things that people look at. Let's see if we can see this. So like, what? This is not where Taiwan is. Gee, what kind of map is this? This looks like this. Where is this place? Taiwan is actually here. Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, Taiwan is here. So this is China. Yeah. Yeah. So number 4 is Malaysia. Interesting. Number 10, Vietnam. Number 7 is Australia and New Zealand. Canada, Ecuador. Okay, Portugal. Okay. So the last bottom 10, Kuwait, Italy, South Africa, Russia, Egypt, Japan, Cyprus, Turkey, India, Malta. So those are the expatriates. I actually was kind of an expat myself. So when we are implementing strategy in global human resource management, want to make sure it's, like I said, it's connected to the corporate strategy. Okay, and and then we talk about international strategies. I don't know if you guys still remember. So we will have different HR strategies, okay, different staffing policy. So it depends on the international strategy the company adopted. But I'm going to just talk about it a little bit. So ethnocentric means that we still send the parent countries citizen or nationals to be in a key management position, ethnocentric. Okay, and then the polycentric is we use the host country's nationals to manage the host subsidiaries. Okay, I don't know if the strategy comes to your mind. And then we have geocentric. So we don't care where they're from. We just send whoever we think the best to different position anywhere in the world. Okay. So based on these 3 approach, like the international strategy that we talked about 2 weeks ago, let me just show you the.
Congratulations, you just graduated, and now you're starting your job search in the international market. Did you know if you show, write on, or play with your business card during a meeting in Japan, it is seen as disrespectful? However, being invited to join your business partners in a sauna after a meeting means a respect to Finland. All these cultures and many different traits, the global human resource management of many companies are trying to bridge the gap between cultures to make a more homogeneous working environment by looking after their employees. Human resource managers go through 3 steps to make sure the company resonates equality. 1. Recruitment. Before you think about where and how you're going to get your dream job, Think about the company's recruitment ethics. When taking an ethnocentric approach, companies are looking to place their home country employees into their host country positions. Companies can also take a polycentric view. This is the opposite of ethnocentric, where companies look to directly employ locals. A great mix of both staffing approaches allows companies to use their global human resource management efficiently and helps to bridge and make strong relationships between cultures. This is called geocentric recruitment. 2. How do you get paid? Your payment includes 3 parts, which are base salary, foreign service premium, and allowances. The base salary is the same range as that for a similar position in their home country, but paid by local currency. Foreign service premium is paid as a percentage of your base salary. It can help you live in an unfamiliar country, deal with the new culture and languages, and adapt to new work habits. There are 4 types of allowances you can get, which include the hardship, the housing, the education, as well as the cost of living. You can receive the same level of medical and pension benefits abroad that you receive in your home country. In addition, you also can receive leave, including regular vacation, annual home leave, and rest and rehabilitation leave if you are sent overseas. Lastly, training. Now you'll go through training to make sure you are fully integrated into the position. The job will either customize the training or have you go through a standardized procedure depending on its protocol. It may be through passive methods like in a classroom or seminars, or active method through simulations. Now that you feel more comfortable with your job, human resource will make sure you develop within the company by reaching your goals and analyzing your performance. It is important human resource nurtures your growth in the company to avoid assignment failures, for example, moving abroad. International human resource management is an integral part of a company. It is what makes up the company holistically and what will drive the company to become bigger and better. So now, can you understand the global human resource management of companies?
Okay, so this is basically what I just mentioned, but in a more graphic way. And so this approach actually kind of matches our strategies. I don't know if you remember the localization strategy, the global standardization, the transnational strategy, and international strategy. Okay, so when we have the ethnocentric, usually that's when we have international or even the global standardization strategy. We send, like American company, we send Americans to, like let's say Apple, send Americans to different Apple locations. Okay, so that's the ethnocentric. The advantage is if in the host country they don't have qualified managers, then we can send someone from US there, and we can help to transfer the culture, the core competencies from the companies to the overseas branches. But the thing is that maybe in the disadvantage would be we might lead to a cultural myopia, means that we don't really understand the local culture, okay? And because we're sending Americans to the host countries, offices, so people there, they might not feel like we can never be promoted to the top management, okay? So that's the disadvantage. And then the polycentric, we hire local people. So, but then we might also have the reverse cultural myopia, okay? So maybe we want to like sometimes something we don't want it to be localized too much. Like if we are the global standardized strategy, okay? And also it could be expensive. It's cheaper to implement, okay? But it limits the career mobility, and then the headquarters, they might not really know what's going on in the local offices, okay? So that could be the polycentric, the disadvantage of polycentric. The geocentric is like, in theory, it's like the best, right? Because we're sending people to the places no matter where their nationality is. And so that's actually good, but, and then it actually help to build a strong culture and maybe informal management team, those kind of stuff. But it could be difficult to implement and it could be very expensive because literally pretty much everybody is expat. Okay, and then we kind of see that expat that have some extra benefit, and then we might need to deal with a lot of paperwork. Different countries have different immigration. Like if you are foreigners, you need to get some certain working visa, those kind of stuff. And then some foreigners, some country actually require to withhold the income tax for foreigners, certain percentage, much higher. Like I remember when I was in China, the salary, like we, but the thing is that we actually go around it, but still the salary I get from China, they need to withhold 40% of the income tax. Yeah, so that's the thing that's kind of annoying. But the expatriate manager, so some that means that we are sending people to to different countries outside of their home countries. So the expatriate value means that they have to return before they can finish their project. Okay, so the U.S. company actually have very high value rate than European or Japanese companies. Okay, 76% of the U.S. company have the value rate, and then 10% or more, 7% value rate than the Japanese and European country, I think. So the cost of the expatriate value is like $40,000 to $1 million per person. So main reason for the value, in US, for the US company, the major reason is actually the spouse inability to adapt. Okay, and then the manager's inability to adjust, and then other family problems, the manager's personal emotional maturity, and they were not able to cope with the larger overseas responsibility. To give you some examples, so when I was in China, okay, I got sent from Taiwan to China, so we actually, it's like, because we need to stay in a company dorm, so we need to live in the company, even though it's it's a different building, but literally you are in a company, and it's like you're 24/7 that in charge of the like I remember the local employees dorm, like they have some stealing, that we hire people to cook for them. We provide 3 meals, but some employees, they will steal rice from the company kitchen, and then they will give it to their friends living outside, off street, not off street, but outside, like they rent a room, somewhere near the factory. So, and then like a lot of them coming from inland, so they will share. Like they will have 10 people sharing one small room, just sort of like camping. Like they will sleep on the floor, and that's it. The room is just for sleeping. There's nothing else. So yeah, so so that's the expatriate. Let me see. I forgot which one is the one. Was a fun one. So this one. I was still able to watch it. Maybe this one is the boring one. Maybe next one. So, well, it's a funny one. Okay, this one. Okay. So because it's actually difficult, imagine you go to this place and you don't have any friends. Maybe you have coworkers. Maybe you have that few coworkers there from the same country, but that's it. You don't really have friends there. And maybe if you take your spouse, your kids there, and they have to go to a new school and they have to make new friends. And so it's just different. And then some expert believe that global mindset is important to success of the global managers. So people's global mindset would improve in the next 20 years. And I believe it's improving. I can actually see that compared to 10 years ago when I come here to now, okay? And 90% of the time, the employees are selected by their technical expertise, like my friend who got sent to Costa Rica, and they don't really have, especially he doesn't really have the cultural sensitivity and adaptability, but but they learn, they can do go by learning, and maybe eventually, like I don't know, I don't think his company give him the training, but some companies supposed to give them training about different culture or give them some language lessons, stuff like that. Okay, so sometimes we focus a little bit more on the specific job, like the technical, skills, but for the expat, we should actually give them training about like language, the culture, some different should I put it, different cultural behavior, stuff like that. Okay, so that's sometimes, and then nowadays, because of internet, we can find a lot of videos. We can like look at the videos to see what kind of training or what kind of country am I expecting to go to. So we should have the cultural training. Okay, try to accept, to not really appreciate, but at least understand the host country's culture. I remember like last week or 2 weeks ago, have you watched we talk about the China lockdown, right, for COVID. Did you see the videos where people got so desperate they jumped out of the tall building? It feels weird. It's like, remember for 9/11, 9/11 or 9/11? 9/11, people actually jumped out from the Twin Towers when they, the same thing happened in China. They got locked down, they couldn't go out, and they couldn't buy food, and then people started to jumping down the tall buildings. So before, like, how should I put it? Like, we talk about Alibaba, we talk about Tencent, like the CEO was retired, was forced to retire by the Communist Party. And then I listened to this interview. This guy, he was talking about something from totally different perspective, like a financial platform invited this Chinese investor, like he's an investment banker. So he was talking about, the Chinese government, Alibaba, Tencent, they didn't, the reason they got forced out because they were more interested in creating personal property, like personal fortune. They didn't try to like the government tried to make them to hire people from countryside to kind of bring up the, the poverty level in the poor countryside. And they didn't, but they couldn't find, like, who, if you are from the poor area, how are you going to know coding, right? So the government think they are not working hard enough, but the thing is that the company couldn't find anybody, and and company still company, they are not non-profit, but in the communist thought. So the guy is like, no, they didn't like, we want everybody to be rich. We don't want to have poor people. That's why we want to create jobs in a poor area, but those companies, they don't want to. That's why the government step in and then do this. And I was like, huh, I mean, it's a different philosophy than what we believe, right? And I couldn't say they are wrong either. But I was like, we were so like, when we were so scared or angry when they did this to, the like Jack Ma and then the other guy. So I was like, how can they, like, this is Communist Party? But if you think of what he said, like, they actually want to get rid of the poverty, it's actually good, right? It's a good thing. But I don't know. I don't know. I still hate China, but but it's just another thought. I thought, oh, okay. So that's, that's how they, but we know that people, the briberies, still very going on very bad in China. And then the people that's like the top communists in the top communist party, their kids have a lot of cash. A lot of people come here, buy houses with cash. I don't know if you've heard of it. Like, so that's why, I don't know. I mean, it's just something that the first philosophy is good, but we know if we think it wouldn't work, we think capitalism probably would work better. So anyway, so the language training, might help with the language training, and then some practical training, what they should do in the host country, So I thought this is fun. And then repatriate of the expatriate. What happened? This link is broken. So this is actually fun.
So what I hear you say is you're having some difficulty making the transition from living in China back to America.
Oh, what's going on? I've been back a month already and my life is a goddamn disaster.
All right, let's do this, guys.
Waiter!
That's what I'm doing,
We'll do bruschetta, olives for meats. We'll do crab and wheat, bolognese, oxtail lasagna. Bring us all your rice and tons and tons of watermelons. Keep it coming. Great, guys. We're good.
It reminds me, I was one time when I took my friend to dinner with other Chinese friend, and that's what we did. Like, they just say, oh, this restaurant, you just go ahead and order. So I just keep ordering, and I thought I ordered enough for everybody. And then my friend, the friend I brought from US, he's like, what's going on? And then he's like, oh, I want this. I think he ordered like General Tso chicken. And we were like, we were looking at him like, this is authentic Chinese. You're not supposed to order that. But we didn't say anything. And then he just ordered General Tso chicken, and then he was eating his own food. But we were like all sharing. Yeah. So but he at that time, he made me feel I was rude, like to order everything. I didn't even think about asking everybody. But when we are ordering here, we will order for ourselves, right? So that's totally different.
Oh, sorry. Do you guys want hot corn juice?
It sounds like you're experiencing some sort of reverse culture shock.
whatever it is, it's bad. So I had some bad Thai food. When we get into the Uber and I can feel my tummy rumbling. So I'm telling the driver, like, you need to stop right now. He hesitates, shit just blows out of my shorts. Oh, hey, don't be shit my car. Wait, you can understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Is that the open beer in my car? Yeah, how else are we supposed to drink it? Out my car. Oh, crap, hell no. Get your ass up and out my car. You thought that this is the forest?
So you are making a few social faux pas, like right now. Joe, can you please put away your phone?
Sorry, just let me snap a few selfies. Oh. Damn it, you see, I can't help it. It's just like the other day. How much is it? $9. Come on, too expensive. Give me a cheaper price. Give me friend price.
Okay, that is pretty strange. Have you tried Googling any of these symptoms?
Yeah, I did a day. I found out I'm not the only one.
Oh my God, is there ice in this? I'm on my period.
Have you, like, do you, when we are on our period, our moms always told us, you cannot drink anything cold when you're on your period, because the cold will make your blood clot, and it wouldn't it wouldn't clean. So we always drink warm water when we are on period. We're not supposed to drink cold or eat anything cold. So
You know, I read about this other guy. He can't even hold a job down anymore. And here's our standard employee contract. Great. So I'll be getting 60% more than that. Why would you think that? You know, I'm not from here. I'm sure I understand. Look, just be honest, okay? Can you get me a visa or not?
Perhaps you could form some sort of self-help group.
Oh, we tried, but whenever we get together, things tend to escalate.
Sharks. No, they're not. Oh, no, I got it. I got it. I said my tail, my trees. It's my talent. Listen, you don't have it. No, I got it.
same thing.
I got it. This doesn't even cover the tip. What? What'd you call it?
Tip.
Okay, great. Right here. Stop.
I think I stopped there. All right, well, can you stop right here? It's a sidewalk.
Fine, right up here. Right up here.
That's somebody's lawn, dude. Jenny.
Wu-Tang Clan?
Galveston.
You get Sonic Boom. I played that game too.
Jeremy Lin, maybe.
Hey, boys, couple beers in the park?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some
maybe.
cold ones? That's delicious. What are you guys doing? You can't drink in public.
Wait, I remember how this works.
What's this?
Green tea, magic whistle.
Cigarette? Oh, party favors? Is that what we're doing? I got one too, let's go.
Okay, I see what you mean. So, yeah, this is gonna require a fair bit of work, and, just so you know, my rate is $180 an hour.
Come on, too expensive. Keep the price, come on, friend price, come on. I'll bring you lots of business, come on, yes, no.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, what we did actually, not everybody, but usually in the countryside, especially, do you want to try, see if you can squat like that? Yeah, so we, like, you see, I can do this. My daughter used to be able to do it, and now she's like, how can you do that? I say, I don't know. And because when we are like, at school, and usually they line us, like, we have to do the flag ceremony every day. And then sometimes when we stand for too long, there's, squat. Yeah, so we'll just do this. We cannot sit on the floor. They think, yeah, so it's just training. So that's that. But do you plan to work in another country?
Probably not, at least in the beginning.
Okay,
You see where it takes me,
but would you be interested? Like, is it something that you are more scared, nervous about, or something actually you are curious about?
I think it would be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely nerve wracking, like thinking about like being on your own, but I think it would be fun.
Yeah. So, the compensation about aspect. It's I think because now more and more people don't mind doing it, so the compensation is not as good as before, okay? But I think there are still some compensation, depends on different countries. So some of the issue, one is we need to adjust the compensation to reflect the national differences, for the expatriate and how they should be paid, okay? So I think it depends on, I think that's also something you need to negotiate with the company. But usually the company, they use geocentric policy. They would have their own, develop their own managers. And, but do they receive same salary? Regardless of their country of origin? Sometimes they don't, right? And if they don't, would they create some kind of resentment among the foreign nationals? Okay, so they shows that this consulting company shows that 85% of the company in a survey they have global compensation strategy in place. So that means that they pay pretty much everybody the same. And the extra aspect pay, the common approach is what we call balance sheet approach. So basically, depending on the cost of living, okay, but I think in theory we still have our best salary, okay, and then we will get foreign service premium. The difference is the allowance. Okay, the allowance might be different. So especially for expat, usually they will pay for your housing, your cost of living, and the education. And a lot of company actually pay for private school for your kids to go to private school. So these are some of the packages that I think is negotiable, okay, and some benefits. Like some companies, they might cover 2 round-trip tickets every year for the whole family. Some might cover 1, or some might, pay for business class, and also the tax differences, different tax differential. Like I mentioned, when I was an expat, because they would withhold 40% of my income. So what we did is I get paid like very, very minimum. It's not, let me think, about maybe $200 per month in China. So it's just barely minimum. So they can take 40% of $200, $80. Okay, so it's not a big deal. And then I actually get paid in Taiwan. I still have my bank account in Taiwan. So whatever, actually it's very good because whatever I get paid, it's the saving. That because I don't need to spend, like I actually don't need to spend anything. we have housing and the food was also included, even like I told you guys, the gym membership, the massage, so everything is, even when we drink, when we go out to drink with the clients, to drink alcohol, it's all covered by the company because we are drinking with our clients. So, so that's the package. And for tax, so sometimes they have to pay tax for both countries. And so when you file tax, it's kind of annoying, okay? But I think in US, if you pay tax in foreign country, you can use that to also on your tax return, and then you can deduct the amount you pay. So I think that's okay. So let me see. So there are some website like here, we can kind of calculate, the cost of living, some of the income tax for aspect. So now we have a lot of resources that will help us to understand. And also you can find on the website, you can find a lot of expat group. Okay, if you are from US, you go to Japan or go to China, they have a group of people. They usually have galleries, and they will help you to go through the stuff. So I won't do this because we only have a few people. So in the future, in the class, we will do that. So more male aspect or female aspect? Probably. Yeah, only woman is only 14%. Higher one is 20 to 30%. So that's actually I used to dream to be aspect. I only did it for like I think 1 year, but not not a lot. But I have friends actually. They travel really all over the world, and when you are getting old, you're older, it's more exhausting because of to adjust the time difference. My brother actually, my brother is also expat, and so he used to have no problem with the time difference, and now he's like, he get tired now. Before he would like fly to Taiwan or fly to US, and then he would drive, 12 hours to visit me. And then this time, he's like, oh, I'm going to Dallas, and maybe can we meet in Pittsburgh? It's like between us, we can meet there and then meet your friends and stuff. I said, yeah. I said, I can drive to Pittsburgh to meet you. I said, are you driving or flying? He's like, oh, it's 20 hours for me. I'm getting old. I think I'm going to fly. And he said, could you pick me up? I said, sure, I'll pick you up. Yeah, so he's like, he used to drive, like he drove from California to Pennsylvania to see me, drive 3 days or 4 days. Yeah, he used to drive everywhere. He enjoyed driving. But now he's like, oh, I'll fly. Yeah. So, so I think it's a good experience. To me, it's a good experience. And if you're interested, I think, you should definitely try, because I think it will help if you want, like in a big company, if you show that you have experience to different countries, you will be promoted like easier than other people. Yeah, so that's the thing for. And then when I just saw that Japan is like one of the worst aspects, yeah, so the woman. And that's what I heard that, that I have a friend, she went to UAE to teach accounting many years ago, and she said the students don't respect her at all. Yeah, but I don't know if it's changed or not. So, so, so aspect makes about half of the Middle East total population. Other people are from other countries. See if they talk about. Oh, yeah. So, I went to Abu Dhabi, I went to a mosque, and when we enter the mosque, we are required to change, to put on the robe, like a gown, is a gown, like to cover our legs and that cover everywhere. You have to, you know, it covers your face as well. But men are not required, like they can even wear flip-flop shorts, walking in the mosque, and then we were just like, and it's so hot, it's like 120 degrees. Yeah, I was kind of upset, but you know, if I want to see the mosque, I have to do that. Yeah, so that's the thing that people the woman in different culture might have different. And I also have friends told me, I don't know if it's true. They say when they go to like Egypt or Saudi Arabia, the woman usually get harassed because when they are alone, men just don't respect women like that. But I don't know how true is that. I never been to. I only been to UAE, and then when we were there, we were okay. Yeah. So will you send women to international assignment as a pet aspect?
I don't know, it's hard, because like if the host country doesn't respect them,
Yeah.
like it's, you're kind of like setting them up for fail. Like even if like in the home country there is equality, you're setting them up for failure if you send them to the host country where they don't respect them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, but I don't know. At the same time, I don't know. I don't know if there will be like if I'm in a track to be promoted, and then the aspect would show that I'm qualified. I would like to be considered, but at the same time, I could say, yeah. So it's just something that we have to work on. So diverse workforce. It's always like we think diversity can improve performance because we will have different view in different things. Like people see things differently if they are from different background. Okay, and I knew you wouldn't understand why she said the cold water. Yeah, because I was like, yeah, so what's wrong not to drink something cold? But then I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So so then we can understand even our customer. If we have a diverse customer, then it will help us to build better relationship with our customer, and then it might improve the brand image, and then it might increase the employee satisfaction. So it's something that people are promote, but I do believe that we shouldn't diversify just for diversification sake. Like, we still have to find qualified people. Yeah. So that's just something that we want to keep in mind. we still want someone that we can work with. You know, we don't want to have someone that doesn't really fit into the workplace. So, so that's that. And our so with our, what is that place called, cafeteria? Do we hire them? Like, are they our catering company?
I don't think so. As
No?
far as we know, like, as far as I know, the whole school is IHRM or
Oh, okay, okay,
another company.
okay. I thought it's, so maybe it was my previous school. So that they provide quality of life services and they have almost half a million employees in 80 countries. They are the top 10 in the workforce diversity in 2017, from 2017 and 19. So, so and then they actually have 50% female as board of directors, 31% 30% senior leader, aspect 40%. So it's not bad. So 60% are colleagues. And we're not going to discuss the case, but I think it depends on what your company's product is. But in general, we do see the advantage of diversity. And when if one day you become HR manager, then there's something that we can also kind of consider, you know, to have diversification in our workforce, not just in terms of races, but in terms of gender, you know, different background, you know, those kind of stuff. So for international business, definitely, you know, it will help to diversify and keep open mind, keep an open mind to, you know, not even for a country like China, you know, I try to understand why they do that and then why majority of people actually follow what the government told them to do. You know, like some people complain about the lockdown policy, but majority of people still believe, you know, it's like they don't want to take any risk because they have the zero policy. Okay, so and yeah, so Taiwan is still the same. We also have zero case policy. So when they have like 30 cases, one day they just freak out. They also, you know, locked down, like they extended the quarantine time. So and people were like they especially they were hostile to those who come go to Taiwan from US. So my friend is visiting in a few days and she's like, and her son is mixed. So people can tell they're from foreign country. I said, you better watch out because they would know you are from other country. She said, the good thing is that everybody wear masks. So they probably won't be able to really see that her son is American. Yeah, but it's a different policy and we don't want to fight the policy because, you know, we're in trouble. And like the video we saw, the aspect that when they come back, they forgot they couldn't drink beer in public place. I didn't even know, like nobody just drank outside. I mean, it just never occurred to us. Yeah. So, any questions? So no class the coming Thursday and